through your national anthem. So thank you for today.
Thank you so much for your support, for your warm message. Yes, we actually feel support of Japanese almost every day from different levels, from kids to parliamentary members. So we're really grateful for your support in such difficult times.
So we would like to start with our first question. Okay. What is a unique aspect of education in Ukraine?
Unique aspect. If we take into account the situation which is now in Ukraine, unfortunately we have some difficulties with the education of our young generation because we are under some cities are under occupation of Russia, so many people were forced to leave their homes, their native towns, and go somewhere to evacuate. Many people are abroad of Ukraine. Maybe you know that Poland accepted the biggest number of evacuees from Ukraine, and also neighbor countries accepted many evacuees, and Japan also. Though we have 8,000 kilometers between our countries, but still we have about 2,000 evacuees from Ukraine to Japan. And as you can imagine, kids which are evacuated, for example, to Japan, they cannot speak Japanese, so they cannot study in Japanese school. So the only way is to go maybe to some international school, which is sometimes rather expensive, because there are people who lost everything, lost their houses and so on. And that's why online education for recent 1.5 years, almost 2 years, during the corona period, when schools were closed, many kids were studying at home. We had online lessons, and now we have war, and those cities which are not occupied those cities sometimes from time to time are sheltering by Russian missiles. That's why kids can come to school, but if they hear siren, they must go to the shelter. So they are sitting in the class, they are hearing the sound, they know that it's dangerous to be in the class, and everyone goes to shelter. It can be during the lesson, anytime, when you don't expect. But nevertheless, educational process is continuing. So some kids which are out of the country, they proceed to study in this neighboring country. Some kids are challenging with education in Polish, in other languages, and in Japan as well. Especially kids of elementary classes, they go to Japanese school and they're challenging, they're studying Japanese, but at the same time, they have online lessons in Ukrainian school in order not to lose the program of Ukrainian school, and when the war ends, they will go back home and they will continue to study at home. I hope all the people will have a chance to come back, because so many destroyed schools and houses on some territories, especially east part of Ukraine and north. So we have to restore everything, rebuild everything, and then our kids will have this possibility to proceed their educational process. So this is a reality of Ukrainian educational system.
Thank
Uniqueness, but unique is maybe it's not very good word for this situation, but it's our reality.
Thank you very much.
What do you believe unites the nation?
Sorry?
What do you believe unites the nation?
The nation.
The nation. Unites the nation. Unites the nation.
What is unites the nation? What do you believe?
What do you believe unites the nation?
Unites the nation. Nowadays, when we are in this war, our nation is very united, as never before. Because as you may know, historically, Ukraine was oppressed by Russia during the Soviet period and before. So every time we were trying to be united and to struggle for our independence. And this time, when we didn't expect that such things may happen in our country, the neighbor country, which was supposed to be our brother nation, they came to our houses, killed people, destroyed everything. So what unites our nation now is willingness to win in this war, to rebuild everything, to restore everything, and to reach our independence and be strong. This is the main point for this unity, because everyone understands that if we will not struggle, if we will not win, Ukraine as a country, as a nation, may disappear. And our aim is to win in order our kids could live in prosperous, independent country.
The next question is, as a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Could you please repeat once more? As a child?
As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
What was my dream? I wanted to be a ballerina. Because I liked ballet very much. I was trying to dance like a ballerina. It's true. It was my biggest dream, I think. But then I was studying some dancing, but not ballet. I went to chorus for a long time. I studied Ukrainian national folklore songs. Yeah. And also, I remember one more dream. I was dreaming about traveling, and I wanted to be a stewardess and to fly to different countries. Cabin attendant, they are so beautiful ladies which know different languages. So it was my dream also. But you know, my parents, I remember that my mother would like me to be a diplomat. So after graduating university, my first language was Japanese and also English. So I'm a philologist and also I'm a teacher. So I like teaching. So I was a lecturer in my university. And that time, how to say, I remember my mother wanted me to be a diplomat, and yeah, 4 years ago I came here. And actually I love my occupation now very much. So it is very tough times in Ukraine, and we are extremely busy for last year and a half. But now I feel that I have some mission, because using my knowledge of Japanese language, being here, I can help somehow Ukraine.
Thank you. What do you believe is the first step towards world peace?
First step to end war and reach peace?
What do you believe is the first step towards world peace? Sorry.
World peace. You know that not only in Ukraine there are some struggle. From time to time in different parts of the earth we have wars, unfortunately. And I think that Japan is really unique country, because you, according to your constitution, you don't take part in wars, and we know that Japan cannot give some weapons to Ukraine because there is some legislation. I think that Japanese experienced very difficult times during the war, last war. That's why you just decided not to have war. And it's a really good decision. I wish, actually, Ukraine, it's a very peaceful country. We never invaded other territories, countries. But, you know, we have to, every nation, every country, we have to teach our kids about peace. And tell them about such tragedies of the war, in order they could grow up with understanding that war is not good, is not acceptable. We have so many things to do in this world, so many interesting, beautiful things to do. We have to create, not destroy. That's why I believe we have to teach our kids, every nation, in order in future we could avoid such situations. Because you know, our neighbor country, Russia, we have so many, how to say, we saw in internet and they unfortunately they teach their kids that neighbor country is bad. It's a terrorist or something like that. So in this country, very, very unfortunately, kids know that neighbor country is an enemy, not a friend, and they are taught to take weapon and to go to invade to these neighbor countries. It's very, how to say, I'm very unhappy to know this. But our kids in Ukraine, they are taught, due to such circumstances, they were forced to be taught to defend, not to invade, but we have to defend our country, because no one can do it except us. Yes, some other countries can give us weapon, or some soldiers can come. You know, in Ukraine there are some Japanese soldiers who came to struggle for Ukraine. But generally, we have to do it by ourselves. I hope I answered your question.
What surprised you when you come to Japan?
First, I came to Japan when I graduated my university. It was 2002, more than 20 years ago. Before coming to Japan, I was studying Japanese and Japanese culture, history, a little bit literature at my university. That's why when I came to Japan, I had enough knowledge about your country. And I liked the culture very much. The biggest surprise. I don't know, when I came first time, I was rather, how to say, I liked everything in Japan. That's why there were no surprises for me at all, to be frank. I felt so comfortable here. So I even don't know what to say about surprises, but I liked that the country is very clean. So many people live in Japan, but it's very clean towns and cities. And people were and they are very polite. And this character is also I like the best, because we have to behave in such a manner like you would like to be behave from other people, So to be polite, it's very good point of Japanese society. And respect to others. Maybe these points are very important, and yes, I can say that I was impressed by this side of Japan.
What are your hopes for the relationship between the two countries?
Which countries?
Japan and Ukraine.
Being a diplomat for these 4 years and looking at the development of our relationships between Japan and Ukraine for recent 2 years, I can say I'm almost sure that our relations will develop in very good manner, because we feel so many common points between our nations and countries. So, Ukrainians, they like Japanese culture very much. We have so many clubs of teaching ikebana, origami, sado. So many people who are doing martial arts like judo, karate, aikido. We even have kendo in Ukraine. People love it. We like Japanese cuisine very much. Ukrainians just adore sushi and ramen and so on. We have so many restaurants of Japanese food in Ukraine. And even we have some statistics. The biggest consumers of sushi in the world are, first place is Japan, of course, and the second place is Ukraine. Yes, so we have common things about Bushido. Let's say you have samurais and we have Cossacks, which were warriors who were defending Ukraine from Mongols and Tatars. And now when we have war, we have such a big support from your country on different levels. When the war started, we have many few diplomats who can speak Japanese, and every day we received so many phone calls, so many letters, so many flowers. People even brought us some food because they knew that we were for the first time we were working without holidays and without some rest. And some people just brought us cup ramen or something like that. Just please eat something. And it was a big pleasure to understand that when you even cannot sleep for the first 3 or 4 months. To be frank, I couldn't sleep because I was so busy at my work, and when I came back home to my kids, because I have family here, 2 kids, and the eldest son is in Ukraine, and my mommy and dad and my eldest brother are in Ukraine, in Kiev, all this time. And when I came home and switched on Ukrainian news, I was just looking TV till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock because we were so worried about our relatives, about our parents, and when this Kiev region was occupied by Russian troops, it was like shock for 3 or 4 months until the deoccupation of Kiev region. And when Japanese kids came to us with their, how to say in English, chokinbako, and they brought us their savings, these coins, to give somehow to support Ukraine. It was really, how to say, thanks to all the people, from little kids to elderly people, because some elderly Japanese people called to our phone, and someone was crying. They were worrying about Ukraine, about kids and so on. They were crying, and they told us that they support us. And we are so grateful for the support. I believe that when war ends, we will do everything we can to thank you for this attitude. Therefore, I believe that we have very bright future of our relationships, and because there are among these evacuees in Japan, we have many students from Ukraine who are studying in Japan. More than 80 universities accepted, 86 or something like that, accepted more than 500 Ukrainian students. And most of that students, they were philologists of Japanese language. So we have, in Fukuoka, we have Nihon Keizai Daikaku, and they accepted more than around 80 people from Linguistic University from Kiev. They are all Japanese students. I mean, student of Japanese language. So all these young Ukrainian students, they received unique chance to come to Japan. Because before, when I was a student, it was maybe 2 or 3 people who could receive this grant program and come to Japan to study Japanese. And can you imagine, more than 500 people are studying in Japan. They are studying about Japanese culture and management and language and so on. So when they will graduate and the war ends, they will become a bridge between Japan and Ukraine. So I am sure that our relationships will be stronger and stronger. And you know that President Zelensky came this March to G7 to Hiroshima, and Kishida also went to Ukraine, and the last visit was Hayashi Gaimadaiju, foreign minister, also visited Ukraine just one week before. So we can see that on the diplomatic level, we have more visits, more connections. So definitely, our relations will be much more deeper and stronger in all the spheres. Because when so many cities and infrastructure destroyed in Ukraine, we have to think about restoration, rebuilding of our infrastructure and our towns, because there are some towns which are destroyed almost for 90%. There's nothing. It's impossible to live there. So Japan has very big experience and very good in rebuilding and reconstructions, because you have those disasters, and we sure that Japan will be a good teacher and will be good help for us also in this core restoration process. I know that there are many companies which are interested in helping Ukraine with this restoration. So you're very welcome, and when the peace will come, I also would like to invite you to visit Ukraine, because we have so many places, interesting places to see, very tasty cuisine. And Ukraine has black soil, very rich soil, and we produce many vegetables and fruits which are very tasty. So I believe you will enjoy Ukrainian food as well.
Thank you.
What are your views on globalization?
What are my views on globalization? is developing, so I believe that there is no way world is going to be globalized. So it's like young generation who will be dealing with all these processes. I think it's normal process for developing, and we just have to be well educated to understand what to do with those processes.
Next, what are some traditional games you played when you were a child?
Traditional games. You know, as I told you, I was going to chorus Ukrainian when I studied Ukrainian folklore. Not only songs but also games. We have many games when we sing and play in Ukraine. If you are interested in such games, I can give you some links of my chorus in order you could see. There are some kind of card games as well, and also when I was a child of elementary school, we like to jump. Like it's kind of game when two girls are standing in front of each other, and we have like gum on our legs, and the third girl, so we have this gomu, and the third girl is jumping. There are some different tricks how to jump. It was a very famous game, and usually between the lessons in school we went to background outside when the weather was not very cold, and we were jumping. Boys, of course, they like to play with ball, like football, basketball.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Russian invasion of Ukraine has destroyed Ukrainian cultural properties. After it is over, what can we, the Japanese, do to defend your country and so support Ukrainian people?
Actually, Japan is already doing, as we were discussing, helping with not only with money but with humanitarian aid for Ukrainian people. And yes, as we discussed, we will restore everything after we will, and we will expect that Japan will take active part in this process. Yeah. We would like it to be Japan, not China. Because Japan knows how to build very with high quality, and you have your infrastructure is so convenient. You know how to build bridges, good roads in very high quality. So yes, we would like to build good houses, good roads, good with very convenient infrastructure in Ukraine, like in Japan.
This is Do you have a message towards Japanese people or students?
Yes. Every time I'm not tired to thank you for all your support, which we receive every day. And I would like to thank you because you remember about Ukraine. I know that distance is big, and maybe some people are tired to see news about war in Ukraine every day by TV. But nevertheless, being a diplomat, every day we receive some messages of support and some donations and humanitarian aid from Japan. And every day I just want to thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the interview today.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. It was nice to talk to you. And if you have time, and if you are interested to see, we have one more room in our third floor, and we have small kind of museum, which we created starting from last year, February. So if you are interested in, I can show it to you. Yes. As well as like in this room, also we have all you can see here. It's presents from our supporters from Japan. The only that flag is from a medical group, which are now on the front line. So we received with their science, we received this like a present from Ukraine. But for example, that one was sent to us from Japanese students. I think it's elementary school, 5th or 4th grade, and kids just wrote some messages to support, as well as that picture was presented to the embassy from a person who has Down syndrome, and this is his vision of Japanese of Ukrainian war. You can see Ukrainian flag colors and red blocks, maybe it's blood or something like that. And the icon in the middle was made by Japanese painter. Her name is Maria Hideko-san. She lives in Nagano, and she is the only person who can create such icons like in Ukraine. You know, we have, due to our religion, we have such icons in our churches. And those Himawari sunflowers brought from Alaji Island. Because Alaji Island accept Ukrainian evacuees, ballerinas. Some people, so this was also present. And in the corner you can see camellia, tsubaki, in colors of Ukrainian flag. And this one was presented by the students of Tokyo Bunkyo University. And they created a very big installation. It's just a small part of it. And you can see that you can...
Wow!
And all these flowers are made, it's handmade flowers. Girls made it by themselves, so I like it very much. It's very nice. Here we made such kind of messages. Bunkyo Gakuin University. And here's me. And they have very big installation in front of the university. Okay. And on the window side you can see pictures of Japanese mangaka, Natsume-san, and she created those pictures in 2014 when Russia first invaded to Ukraine, the Donbass and Lugansk region. And you know, so our war is not a year and a half, but more than almost 9 years continues. Yeah. And we even have a Amabie, which we also received as a present from our Japanese supporters, and you can see Heiwa. So we are praying for peace with Amabie. And also here you can see such kind of handmade lighters. One is with Himawari and one is with President Zelensky. It's handmade from bamboo. Yes, I can even show you. Just a second. As well as this one, it will also receive it as a present. Tsuru. It's President Zelensky. Very nice. Okay. So, and we have many interesting things, stuff on the third floor. And if you have, I have made. There is Ukrainian Slava Ukraini, Ukraina ni Eikoare. And when Ukrainian Taiso gymnastic team came for training for 1 month in Takasaki City, they accepted those athletes. Our ambassador and Takasaki City mayor, and also a very famous Ukrainian gymnast, Irina Deryugina. She was Olympic athlete. They draw one eye, and I think you know what was the wish. Now we have only one wish. Yeah.
I hope it comes true so soon.
Yeah, we also hope so. And also I would like to show you one more interesting book. It's a special train. It's a photo book of Who Stand With You. It's trained in Ukrainian colors. Yes, you can see very nice pictures. It's also for support of Ukraine. You can see the train in different places in Japan. Very nice photos. I like it very much. You can see. Here we have the message from the people who made it. Of course, Akiyama-san and Nakado Kagawa. And there was I do not speak English at all. I wrote this text with the help of translation and English teacher. That's why I made this one for us. So this kind of support is really, we feel very warm in our hearts. So let's go upstairs. Very big, the biggest one which we have. Actually, we received so many cranes last year, and I even don't know where to store it. Separate room. All these things are from our supporters. For example, Pikachu. One guy from Japan, he is now in Ukraine. He is wearing this Pikachu costume and trying to help Ukrainian people to enjoy their lives. So here you can see this chokinbako from Japanese kids with some messages to Ukraine. This T-shirt is from Miki Mikitani from Rakuten. Mikitani-san came to us right after invasion started, and he donated very big amount of money to Ukraine. And here's messages from Japanese mangaka, Mangaka Association. Also our supporters. And here you can see also Heiwa no Kane. And you can see Kishida Solidaisen. We can usually ask our guests to make a wish and to ring the bell. Would you like?
Kevin.
Carry.
Okay, also we have, we receive dozens of such messages from kids also, and from elderly people. There are some of them, because we have many of them. And also...
Інна Сан, ти скажи, що ми можемо з великими людьми фото зробити. Це партія відродження. Ні, хай зробить нас з нами фото. Це ж партія відродження, це депутати.
We have such kind of special umbrella here, and even hot in Ukrainian colors. All this. He created this art from pictures of Ukrainian evacuees. So pictures which they had in their mobile phones or digital version, and they created such a beautiful picture. It's very interesting, I think. You can see different people, small picture of Ukrainians. The last for me, I would like to give you some small present to remember today's meeting. We have Japanese and Ukrainian flags pinned.
Thank you.
And thank you for your support.
Thank you.
I hope one day you will have a chance to come to peaceful Ukraine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.